The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry.
5 times Erika Kirk tried to portray herself as a helpless widow. Erika Kirk literally called herself this widow in her very first national speech, like that exact phrase, on repeat. September 13th, 2025, just days after Charlie Kirk passed, she stood up and gave her first national address, and she kept referring to herself as this wife and this widow throughout the entire thing, then dropped the line, "The cries of this widow will echo around the world like a battle cry." Critics immediately called it strategic, saying she was switching from helpless widow to battle-ready leader within the same speech. Real Clear Politics literally headlined it. The framing went viral fast.
She is my hero and the love of my life.
Erika Kirk got introduced at a Turning Point USA event by a pre-recorded message of her late husband. Yeah, with Charlie Kirk's voice. October 2025, she pulled up backstage already wiping tears, and then her late husband's old recording played to introduce her. She walked out, broke down crying, and gave a whole speech about carrying on his legacy. The New York Post literally called it a gut-wrenching moment. Critics online started accusing her of staging the entire setup for dramatic effect. Supporters thought it was a beautiful tribute. Either way, the video went viral within hours of the event.
My husband, he deeply mattered on a multitude of levels.
Erika Kirk got visibly emotional in front of thousands at AmericaFest. December 18th, 2025, she was speaking at Turning Point USA, biggest annual event of the year. Mid-speech, she choked up talking about the devastating loss of Charlie Kirk and her brand new role carrying on without him. Cameras caught every tear. Detractors immediately labeled it performative widow grief, accusing her of using emotion to keep the spotlight on herself and the donations flowing into Turning Point USA. Supporters defended her, saying grief doesn't have a timeline. C-SPAN ran the full speech.
Honestly, my biggest fear is that if something happens to me, I'm not sure how my wife is going to manage. She's pretty helpless.
Erika Kirk leaned into a clip of Charlie literally calling her helpless. Yeah, his exact word. After Charlie Kirk passed, old footage resurfaced of him saying he worried most about Erika because she's so helpless if anything ever happened to him. Then Erika started sharing or allowing widow-themed emotional content that highlighted her brand new solo role as a mother and a leader. Critics absolutely roasted the contrast, saying she was leaning hard into the helpless widow narrative for sympathy points.
Erika, please stand.
Erika Kirk talked about her fire ignited within this wife while taking over as CEO of Turning Point USA, like in the same breath. Throughout late 2025 and into 2026, she did interview after interview describing the sudden loss and her vulnerability. But she was also stepping into full CEO control of Turning Point USA, launching huge fundraising pushes and tightening her grip on the whole operation. Online critics started calling it grifting widow behavior, saying she was using helplessness to justify donations and consolidate power simultaneously. Creators.com literally ran a piece called "Kirk is sadly departed, but the grift lives on."